Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have an exciting review of the latest release from Kayali Fragrances and part of Huda Beauty. It is the new Yum fragrance, Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. So I'm going to be letting you know what this smells like, give you my review, first impressions, layering tips. If you're new here, then hello, welcome. We are all about perfumes. I have hundreds of other videos. I'll leave the links to my other detailed reviews on the Kayali fragrances down below in the description box. And I also have an article that goes through every different Kayali fragrance and shows you the whole, like all the difference between them all. And if you're a regular viewer, do make sure you're subscribed and give the video a thumbs up. That really helps me. So I was lucky enough to go and attend the launch event yesterday for this fragrance where the lovely Mona Katan was there launching the fragrance. Mona is the CEO and creative brain behind Kayali Fragrances. She is the sister of the creator of Huda Beauty, and I believe she's also the CEO of Huda Beauty as well. So she's a real like business boss. And she's also super lovely person as well. And the event was really cool. It was super themed with this like pistachio color, gelato and everything. So I will insert some videos now from the event. I wish I
knew. Yum. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar because again, I've seen a lot of it.
Marshmallow or even with cream or even ice cream. So there's just so much that reminds me of the actual stuff.
So yeah, it was a super event. So what does it smell like? So as the name suggests, it definitely is a yummy fragrance. This would fit into a gourmand fragrance category. It feels very edible. What was also great about the event is the perfumer that actually created this fragrance and his son was there. So the perfumer that Mona worked with on this is called Olivier Cresp, he's French, and he actually has created so many of fragrances that I absolutely love. I would love to work with him on one of my perfumes one day. He created Angel, the original Angel. He created Nina Ricci, one of my first ever perfumes that I had, you know, the apple one. He has created my favorite Dolce & Gabbana perfume, Light Blue Forever. And I think he also did like all the original light blue as well. Estée Lauder Modern Muse, Black Excess, so many amazing perfumes. I think there's over like 450 perfumes that he has created that you can buy, that are sold. He's been doing this for decades, and his son also worked on this fragrance. So yeah, really great name. He's like a master perfumer, which is very rare. Definitely perfect person to have creating a gourmand fragrance like Yum. So this actually has 20 different fragrance notes in it. And I actually have a very helpful guide here. I really love all the branding for this fragrance. Like everything is this pistachio green, and you can see like it's really strong branding. I really love it. So for me, when I spray this, the first thing I definitely get is that like hazelnut, pistachio, nutty, edible scent. It feels to me very cozy. Personally, I would wear this like in the winter time or when it's a bit chilly. And it'd give you that sort of cuddly, cozy feel. It reminds me a little bit of like God Is a Woman, that has that ombre musk feeling. It's got a whipped cream in the base as well, which again, I always find really cozy and cuddly. And they've used a technology which isn't in many perfumes. It's quite a new technology, which is to do with the smell being a recreation of how something tastes. So as far as your senses are concerned, this should smell exactly like as if you're eating pistachio ice cream. And I think it definitely does achieve that. So there's also a little bit of a rum note in here, a hint of that booziness, but it's not strong. I wouldn't class this as like a boozy fragrance. There's also a little bit of a bergamot in the top notes, which adds a little bit of freshness when you spray it. So it's not overly sickly or it's not too sweet at all, but it is still definitely, as it dries down, that whipped cream is really coming into its own with that pistachio note. In the heart, the notes list a few notes that I don't really get. So geranium, peony, jasmine, peach, pear, raspberry. I don't really get any of those notes. It doesn't really feel fruity to me. I don't really get the white florals, maybe a little bit of the jasmine. And then in the base, we have a little bit of tonka bean, and that marshmallow and whipped cream is really what comes through for me. Mona said that when she set out to create this, the brief that she actually like started with in her imagination was to smell like a Turkish delight, like a rose Turkish delight. It's obviously ended up something quite different. She said pistachio ice cream is her favorite, pistachio gelato. So it's her favorite food, and this like literally does recreate that. So for me, I personally hate Turkish delight. I hate the taste of them, particularly the rose one. So it doesn't smell like that. So don't worry if you don't like Turkish delight, but that was her original aim, to create something that was kind of gourmand, edible, but she's ended up with her favorite food, pistachio ice cream, instead. In terms of the bottle, this is the first time from Kayali that we've had this like frosted glass bottle, and of course the white lid. So it does feel like, you know, sort of representing, this is the pistachio ice cream and this is like some whipped cream on the top. And it does say on the branding that it's an intense eau de parfum intense. All the Kayali fragrances are eau de parfum. I personally don't find it super intense. It's not overpowering. It's not like Angel. It isn't as heavy and strong as it could have been. So I wouldn't be put off by the fact that it says intense. It's not sickly and heavy. She's also releasing a twist and spray to go with it, which just has a pump on the bottom, so you just pump that to fill it up. So that's obviously in the pistachio green. Let me know what you think about these twist and sprays, and whether you'd like me to release a twist and spray for my perfumes, for Empress and for Aphrodite. Let me know. So the Kayali brand is all about the layering. I've found that mixing the pistachio yum with Eden juicy apple really lifts it and perhaps makes it a little bit more summery. Juicy apple is a very like fresh, bright fragrance. It reminds me a little bit of Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy. Very, very fruity. And then mixing it with this just adds that like depth and sexiness. So this becomes almost like the top note, and this becomes the base note. And perhaps if you want to just lift it a bit, make it fruitier for summer, I think those two are a cute combo. Now, Mona said she likes combining it with her vanilla fragrances. I also think it works well with Utopia, which I have in the rollerball that they do actually, which has some coconut in that just makes it even more extra, even more like creamy, I guess. And I have to say, I definitely think this works well with my Empress if you are a fan of gourmand fragrances. I think combining this with this just really brings out the popcorn buttery note that's in Empress. And then the wild strawberry in Empress sort of adds a little bit of fruitiness as well. So if you really are a gourmand fan, you really love your edible sweet notes, combining these two is a total like powerhouse fragrance. Not that Empress isn't insanely good for lasting already. Cool, so definitely a Soki approved fragrances. I tend to be really impressed with all the Kayali fragrances that each time they come out. I'm loving like the coloring and the strong branding, really exciting. And it's just something different. I don't have anything like this in my collection. I think it's also good for sort of evening time. It's a little bit sexy and like, you know, moorish. So this would also work for date night as well as more like in the winter when you want something cozy. So definitely Soki approved. Let me know if you've managed to try this yet. It has literally just come out. And as always, I'll put the links in the description box to where you can get this along with my article and other videos on Kayali. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I do read all your comments. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.